Good evening, everyone. The time here is 7:12 in the evening. Today is Wednesday, April 5. I know you have not heard from Wilhelmina. Someone asked me, Wilhelmina, when are you going to update the price of gold? Well, you need to be resourceful. You have to watch the price of gold every day because the price of gold is not fixed. It fluctuates every day. Now, today, the price of gold is 20.23, right? 23.5 per ounce. Use your calculator, multiply that to 32.15. Today is 65,056.02. On April 1st, the price was 64. Then yesterday, the price of gold was fluctuate. I was been watching the price of gold yesterday and early morning because we have a time difference. Now in your end, it's early morning. Now here we are in the evening. I'm based in Australia. This is my virtual office. Right. Now let's talk about the price of gold. The price of gold today is 65,128.36. I will remove the 128. Let's talk about 65,000 per kilo. You are buying the world asset, you must remember. Now the central bank needs gold. The refinery needs gold. The jewelry manufacturer needs the supply. There's a saying, supply and demand determine the price. Yes, you have a license, but how could you perform if there is no supply? So the supply is coming from Africa. Africa is the main source of raw materials. I don't need to explain to you because I already explained that on my previous video. I just pop in because I would like to answer a question of this inquiry. Now bear with me with my language because I done it purposely so that you will understand that this gold business is not for everyone. It's not. There's so many group members on WhatsApp. There's 300 members, the 600 members, all the phone on WhatsApp, the 200. I'm a member of WhatsApp. I don't know how they get my number. Right. But I entertain them. They're inquiring, they're exchanging information, sanitizing, cut and paste. We don't sanitize. Now, on this video, this is live. You will see this video on my YouTube channel and also on my Facebook. My Facebook is just like an online store. I put everything. If you are a wise reader, you click below, it says show more, and there is a link. I want you to go to the link, read first. After you listen to this video, take time, don't rush, because you are buying 500,000 here. You are not buying banana here. Even banana, there is a value. This gold has a value. This gold is precious, meaning to say, this is the world asset you're buying. Now, gold has many uses. Remember, I mentioned that on my previous video, even on my Facebook. Every picture, there's a message. If you know how to read on that picture, that the messages is very clear and simple. There is a saying, a picture paint 1,000 words. If you know how to read on every picture on my platform on Facebook, I can guarantee you, you will get what you are looking for. Guaranteed. Why? I've been to Africa last year, Mr. Buyer. I bring the buyer. The buyer got what he got because I accompany the buyer. Now, let's talk first the price. As I've said a few seconds ago, the world market price is 65,128. I have to remove the 128. Let's talk about $65,000. Our selling price, 8%. Mhm. Now, less 8%, selling price is 59. Right. So, I don't know you how you are able to afford it. You're gonna say, oh, too expensive. Of course. You are buying expensive item, you must remember. You are buying gold bar dory to sell it to the jewelry manufacturer. You're gonna bring it and sell it to the refinery. You make profit. That's why you are gold trader, buy and sell. Right. You're buying raw material here. You must remember. Now, our selling price less 8%. You're gonna say, well, Amina, it's too expensive. Well, you are in business. You must remember. I buy this necklace in Dubai last year in Gold Socks. This is very expensive necklace. I purchased three. Three necklace. I have no complaint. I paid value added tax, VAT. Right. I don't have any complaint because I need this. This is finished product. You're buying raw materials. Where's the raw material coming from? Africa. Africa is the main source of raw materials. Bauxite, emeralds, gold, and diamond. But I don't deal bauxite. There was an inquiry last night that a buyer is really looking for bauxite. There's a bauxite in Conakry, there's a bauxite in Mali, but I don't deal bauxite. You have to deal it with the government because that is by tonnage. We are selling gold and diamond only, right? Because the seller hired Wilhelmina. Now going back to the pricing, you're gonna say, Wilhelmina, can you give us a fair deal? I said, yeah, I can give you fair deal. How are you able to convince Wilhelmina, Mr. Buyer? You are already watching my video, Mr. Buyer. Right? And the full corporate offer is in this video. Click below. It says show more. Click it. Digest it, Mr. Buyer. Don't come to Wilhelmina if you are not understanding. I want you to digest it. Read it thoroughly because the full corporate offer on this video is very extensive. Very. I expand it so that you will understand that this gold business is not CIF. It's not cost, insurance, and freight only. There's no way. You have to pay the gold plus costing of logistic plus you need to insure it. Right? You are only asking to pay the cost and insurance, meaning to say you cannot afford it. You cannot. Because 10 kilos, it's already $500,000. You don't have $500,000. You don't. Unless you convince me. Unless. I would believe that you have $500,000. I would believe if you could show me that you have $500,000 in your bank statement and $1 million. I would believe it. Right. I don't need to muck around with you, Mr. Buyer. Be straightforward. Be transparent with Wilhelmina because Wilhelmina is the only person who put her face on the social media. The seller hired Wilhelmina to market. The seller hired Wilhelmina in order to screen you. I have the power to say yes or no. And I have the power to renegotiate the price. Right, Mr. Buyer. Let's talk about the discount you're asking for. You're going to say, Wilhelmina, do you think I'm going to get the profit? Yes, you will. You will get the profit if you are honest as well. Now, Mr. Buyer, tell me, how Wilhelmina able to assist you? How? First of all, Mr. Buyer, I want you to read the full corporate offer first. Then when you digest it, then you come back and download Botem if you are from Dubai. Let's talk about live video call. I want to see your face. You already met Wilhelmina. You already see this beautiful, tough lady. So I want you to show me your face that you are really a buyer. I don't want you to hide your face, meaning to say you are a smuggler. Because a smuggler scared to show her face. So don't smuggle, Mr. Buyer. Don't ask for CIF, meaning to say you are launderer, meaning to say you don't have the cash. We don't deal buyer that have no cash. We don't deal buyer who have no money. Meaning to say you are a poor guy. My seller is rich, very rich, Mr. Buyer. I can guarantee you. I've been to my seller's house. They are big. Their house is mansion. And you are just starting because you want to make money. You will make money if you have the capital. Now, let's talk about how are you able. Our selling price, less 8%, remember? Our selling price on 8% is 59. $59,000. Now, Mr. Buyer, I don't know if you can afford. Convince Wilhelmina, be truthful. I will give you a really good price, provided you convince Wilhelmina. Now, how are you able to convince me? Of course, you have read the full corporate offer, right? You're already reading a very extensive full corporate offer. If you convince Wilhelmina that you are really transparent buyer, I might give you 12% based on the world market. The 65,128, I might able to give you 12%. Why? Because I'm going to accompany you. Because I'm going to charge you my extra service. I'm going to charge you, Mr. Buyer, to accompany you in order to get the gold promptly. My extra service is $20,000 to cover my travel cost. That's all you are going to pay my travel cost. My travel cost is non-refundable. So which one you like, Mr. Buyer? You don't want to pay my extra service, less 8%. If you pay Wilhelmina's extra service to accompany you so that you will not be duped, so that you will not be frustrated, I can give you 12% or even 13%. But don't bank on it because you have not convinced me. Right? So I'm very flexible. I am going to renegotiate the price for you to my head office. My head office will believe me that you are a real buyer. Why? You already provided me your business registration like this one. Like this one. This buyer is from Dubai, right? This is his business registration. Right. He complied it. He sent me his importation license. He sent me his passport copy. He showed me his bank statement that he has more than $500,000. So your information is intact with us. The reason why I ask you, Mr. Buyer, so that you don't waste our time. That's the reason why I put everything online. I expand it so that you would understand that this is not for credit business. This is a real business, Mr. Buyer. Real. We are not dealing with cost insurance and freight only, Mr. Buyer. We're not. You have to pay what you're buying plus government sales tax. Now, Mr. Buyer, I mentioned that on my previous video. The government sales tax in Mali is 7%. The government sales tax in Conakry is 6.5%. The government sales tax in Sierra Leone 6.5%. Right. No way you can get the gold out of the country without paying the gold. Now you're gonna say, well, I'm not too expensive. Of course, you're buying expensive item, you must remember. Right. So there is no free in this world. Everything now is inflation, inflation, inflation. That is the reason why the gold getting higher and higher. Remember last year, When I was in Conakry, I mentioned that. Hurry, Mr. Buyer, bank now, book now, because 2023, there is a possibility that the price will turn to $2,000 per kilo, per ounce. I was not wrong. I was right. Why I'm right all the time? Because I'm a wide reader. I read the current event, the movement on the world market. Then I share it with you, Mr. Buyer. Brokers would not share it with you, Mr. Buyer, if you're watching me. No, brokers would not share it with you. They come to Wilhelmina, they cut and paste, they copied words for words of my full corporate offer. That is fine because that full corporate offer exactly the same whether you buy to Cameroon, to Kampala, to Ghana, to whatever, they are all the same. You need to pay. All right. Now, Mr. Buyer, you're gonna say, I have a buyer in Mali. Bring the gold to KMR. We will not bring the gold to KMR until you are verified by Wilhelmina. Until you tell me whether you are a buyer or not. We don't bring the gold to KMR or DNGM until you place your order, until I interviewed you, until you meet the criteria. You're gonna say, well, Amina, what is the criteria? The criteria is in front of you. Just read, click below, subscribe. Every time you will be notified when I update the price of the day. Right. In Mali, there is a refinery, DNGM, KMR, Marina, Unigod. We don't deal that refinery. We only see the gold to that particular refinery in DNGM just to get the result of the carats and the purity. Just a moment, somebody sent me uh, this joker buyer on the group. They're sending cut and paste asking commission. Mr. Buyer, you don't need to deal with chain of black of brokers. You don't. We are giving you a good deal. Wilhelmina is here. Wilhelmina is the one who tell the world that we are here to do business in a proper way. Those joker broker on WhatsApp, they are not really paying attention. They are just brokering online. They come to Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina, I have a buyer. How much is my commission? We don't pay double commission. We don't. Instead, we give the buyer a really good price. Mr. Buyer, if you are watching me, whoever you are, I know you know me. I know you've been running around comparing prices to prices. I know that. You're looking for cheap price. Mr. Buyer, grown up because this is a real business. This is not a joke business. Last night, I was talking to an agent. He bumped into my YouTube channel. He's from Tanzania. And he said that there was a Chinese lost money. And I told this agent, the reason why the Chinese lost money in Tanzania, because the seller offer undervalued. And the seller chased the buyer to fly to Tanzania. What happened to the Chinese? He lost money. He didn't get the gold. So whoever offer the cheap price, you are tarnishing your country. Yeah, that's the reason why. You are going to be duped because there's so many cheap offer, 33, 40, 45, to tease you, Mr. Buyer. The seller would not tell you. The agent would not tell you. He wouldn't. He just thinking about his personal interest to get the commission. Mr. Buyer, don't be scared with Wilhelmina. I am here to do business with you. I am here to assist you in a proper way. Last year I was in Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone. My transaction was successful. Yeah. You know, the buyer says, Wilhelmina, your services is worth it. We don't mind paying you extra service because if you don't accompany us, what we're gonna do? We're gonna feel bored. Yes. When I bring the buyer, I entertain the buyer. We while waiting for the paperwork, I tour around the buyer. I tour around from places to places. We go running around and have us view the beautiful scenery of Conakry and Sierra Leone. Yeah. So, Mr. Buyer, which one you like? I think I already explained to you. Which one you like? You wanna travel by yourself, and if there is an issue, Wilhelmina is too far to resolve your issue. Remember, Mr. Buyer, seller are very hard to deal with. Very. So that's the reason why you deal with Wilhelmina, Mr. Buyer, because I am going to accompany you, and my seller will believe that you are real buyer. Look at this buyer. He's from Dubai. Mhm. He's getting 10 kilos, and I given him a really good price. Mhm. I have 7 buyers lined up to meet me in Dubai. Mhm. So one at a time. I put each buyer on my calendar. You're gonna stay with me, Mr. Buyer, in Conakry 9 days, in Sierra Leone 9 days, in Mali 9 days. Right. I will be with you. I will bring you to the office, and I have to be tough with my seller. If my seller will reject you, don't worry because I have a backup. The seller would not reject you. Why? You already have the contract. We will send you a contract that you place a 7 or 10 kilos. We will reserve the 10 kilos for you. When you arrive, the 10 kilos you are going to inspect in the office. Mhm. We will not bring the gold to the refinery. You come to the office first, then you inspect. Then that's a time we test the gold. If you want to fly to Mali, if you want to fly to Sierra Leone, if you want to fly to Conakry. Now, Conakry is one stop. From Dubai to Conakry, Emirates twice a week fly. Mhm. So, in Conakry, everybody deal with central bank. Then you're gonna say, bring gold to central bank. No, the gold will not bring to central bank unless you come to the office, unless you inspect, right? You bring your gold tester so that you will see the purity of the gold before the gold will brought to the central bank. Once the gold brought to central bank, the gold will not leave central bank. So that's the reason why I explain it here so that you would be aware. Now, I met a buyer in Dubai, from Dubai, in Conakry, is stranded. He think that he can deal with the seller. The seller didn't explain to him. He didn't get the gold. So that's the reason why I am here, so that you will be assisted. I will take you to the office which my seller produced gold. My seller is more richer than you, Mr. Buyer. I know you're scared of your money. I know you're scared to be scammed. You will not be scammed because I'm with you. You will not be scammed because Wilhelmina is very strict. And if there is an issue, I will find a backup. Right? My services, Mr. Buyer, is not for free. I already given you vital information worth $1 billion. Information is very important. I know you've been dealing with so many joker broker. I call them joker. Why? That joker broker, they run around and run around, cut and paste sanitizing. We don't deal sanitize. We don't. You, Mr. Buyer, if you bump into this video, I want you to read it properly. Then when you understand, you come for conference. If you're in Dubai, download with Botem. I don't want to deal with joker broker to teach you Whoever you are, Madam, teach me. I am new in this business. I am not here to teach people. I am not a babysitter. We are here to do business. We have the gold, you have the money, you pay for it. So there is no joker broker to be handled by Wilhelmina. No. So excuse me if you don't like my harsh language, because I've given this joker broker an opportunity since 2011 until 2023. Still they are not paying attention. They don't want to reveal their buyer. Mr. Joker Broker, you need to learn, because Wilhelmina is very strict. Wilhelmina would not deal with you guys. Look at this buyer. He found me on YouTube and he go through on my Facebook. He read it. Right, and I told him, read it first, you come back when you're ready. He sent me his vital information. I'm going to meet this buyer in Dubai. Right, he's going to sell the gold to his own customer. In fact, I've given the buyer a good price. Instead of 8%, I give the buyer 13%, because he's willing to pay my extra service. You know how much I charge this buyer? Is $20,000, because the airline ticket is already increasing. The hotel is no longer cheap. The $20,000 is very tight, Mr. Buyer. Instead, I've given you 13% out of 8%. Which one you like, Mr. Buyer? 8% or 13%? And when you travel with Wilhelmina, I can guarantee you, you will be happy. Right? So don't be scared, Mr. Buyer, because Wilhelmina is very tough. Gold has many uses, you must remember. You go on my platform on Facebook, the lady holding the gold, I was inside the jewelry manufacturer. Yes? And I was also inside the refinery, but I would not tell you what's the name of the jewelry manufacturer. There's few jewelry manufacturer. They're hungry. I told the jewelry manufacturer, I cannot bring the gold to you because his term is different. And I told him, I will recommend you, I will introduce you to a gold trader. The gold trader buy from us and the gold trader sell it to you. And he's happy. But I will not introduce my client because that is our client. But if you are really transparent and very good, I might consider, I might help you. Mr. Buyer, how much you can afford to pay? The price of gold today is 65. There is a presumption that the gold will turn to $2,500 per ounce. In dollars term, 80,375. That's the moment you wouldn't be able to afford. Believe me. So bank now, start buying 10 kilos, you increase it. I can guarantee you in a year's time, you will get a profit of 80%. You put your money in the bank, your interest is 3%. I know you're scared. I have interviewed a lot of buyers that has a disappointment. They failed. They went to Kampala, they went to Nairobi, they went to Sierra Leone, they went to Tanzania, they went to Ghana, they went to Nairobi or Cameroon. They come to Wilhelmina. I said, no, I'm not a babysitter. I'm not. I only entertain the buyer when you buy gold from us. That's the reason why I explain. So those joker broker who watch my video, you gain knowledge from this woman. You gain knowledge from University of Hard Knocks. My seller, when my seller hired me, he didn't explain to me thoroughly. I was the one who sit down with the seller. Very simple. The seller would not tell you how much the value tax. He wouldn't. He will only tell you on front, no to me. I have to tell the buyer that there is a value tax so that you, Mr. Buyer, you are prepared to accept that there is a value added tax. There is. You cannot run away. Here in Australia, our value tax is 10%. In India, 12%. Right, in every country, when you buy, there is always VAT. In Dubai, when I buy this jewelry last year, the VAT was 5%. I don't have any complaint. Mhm. So think about it, Mr. Buyer. You want to invest, you want to make profit because gold is a profitable business. Yes, profitable, 100% profitable. But if you're asking for cheap price, well, you're gonna wait for disaster. I'm telling you. So I think I already explained to you, Mr. Buyer, that the price of gold today is 65 hingon. I'm going back to the world market. Just bear with me. Okay, on the world market today, the price of gold is 2,022.90 per ounce. I want you to use your calculator, multiply that 32.15 equals, then you give me the price. That is the world market price. Okay, you are not buying this refined gold. You are buying Dory bar. That is why we give you a discount of 8%. Right. So don't bank on it that I told you that I might consider to give you 13%. When you convince Wilhelmina, when you can afford to travel with Wilhelmina, yes, I might consider 13 to 14%, but don't bank on it. Don't. Okay? We will discuss this when you come for conference after you listen to this video, after you read the full corporate offer. It says show more. There's a link on Facebook. You click it, you go there, read more again. There's a picture paint $1,000. Then the picture has a message. There's a saying, a picture paint 1,000 words. Right? So if you don't read it and then you're excited, to me, I'm not excited at all. I would be excited if you convince Wilhelmina, if you could show this information that your business license in Dubai, your importations in Dubai, your passport copy, and your proof of fund, then I would be excited. But if you sanitize, then you cut and paste, I'm not excited at all. I'm not. And then you're gonna say, Wilhelmina, what is the price? You're not listening. You're asking what is the price? You're not listening. The price is, I already mentioned it to you. Even on the full corporate offer below, I put the selling price. If you don't pay attention to me, you're not a buyer. You're just a time waster. And I don't sign an NCNDA to any joker broker. We prepare to give the buyer a very good price because buyer wants to earn a profit. Mr. Buyer, you're no longer dealing with blockchain or brokers anymore. We are now on social media. You can search on YouTube. I'll bet you my video pop up into your screen. I bet you. No such joker broker can explain to you, have no courage to explain because they don't know. They only think about their commission, Mr. Buyer. I don't think about my commission. I will only think about how you are going to pay for me. Right? And Mr. Buyer, don't be scared with Wilhelmina. We have tons of gold, you must remember. You're gonna say, Wilhelmina, send me the video with my name. No, we no longer doing that. Meaning to say you are not a buyer. We will only send the video on your order with your name after you convince Wilhelmina. Yes, I will instruct my head office to video the gold and diamond after you convince Wilhelmina. After you show me your background. Because there was a buyer from Sweden. They asked, put my name, and I saw it online. He is looking for buyer. Oh my gosh, what a joke. That's the reason why I told my seller, do not send any picture unless I interview the buyer. Yes, Mr. Buyer, we will go for the video on your name, but do not put that online searching for buyer. I thought you are a buyer, Mr. Buyer. So why you asked for video and put the newspaper, the date? No, you are not a buyer. We will only give you the video. During our conversation, I will ask my seller to be on live video call after you send me your business registration. because I'm going to tell my buyer, my seller, that I have already validated you. Do you know what is the meaning of validation? I have already screened you, Mr. Buyer, that you are a buyer. You're gonna say, Wilhelmina, how many tons of gold you have? A lot. Convince me, how are you able to pay? Yeah, we can show you. I'll take you to Mali. I'll take you to Conakry. We have tons of gold. But how are you able to pay? Mhm. There was a Pakistan went to Conakry, and there was a buyer, joker buyer from New York went to Sierra Leone, didn't get the gold. That Pakistan went to Conakry, he stayed at Nom Hotel, he didn't get the gold. And he was been dealing with my seller. And he was been talking to me 6 months, last year, for 6 months. Suddenly he flew to Conakry. And he has a bad feeling and he said, Wilhelmina, I'm here in Conakry. I told him, where are you staying? Nom Hotel. It so happened I stayed at Nom Hotel. What a small world. That buyer's agent, he deceitful. He deceived his buyer. He returned to Dubai empty-handed. He's asking for CIF, not knowing he's dealing with my seller. And I told him, you're a fool. You go behind my back. Now you didn't get the gold. Right? My seller rejected him. And I said to my seller, what happened to this Pakistan? Oh, well, I mean, he's just a joker. What? So don't deceive yourself, whoever you are. Whether you're a buyer's mandate, you travel, don't deceive, because believe me, you will not win. You will not get the gold. A real seller would not sell under value. Fair is fair. We give you a discount. And don't ask Wilhelmina to sign NCNDA because I'm not interested. I'm not. I don't deal, meaning to say you're a broker, meaning to say you're scared that your buyer will go behind your back. Yes, your buyer will go behind your back. Yes. So if you're a buyer's agent, you have to have a buyer's agent, and you, Mr. Buyer, you have to pay your agent, because believe me, when you come to Wilhelmina, and if I'm going to travel with you, yes, I do charge my extra services of $20,000 non-refundable to cover my travel costs. Which one you like? 8% or 13 or 14%? Tell me, Mr. Buyer. So don't bank on it, because you have not convinced Wilhelmina. You haven't. Our selling price less 8%. Take it or leave it. All right. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening or good morning to you. I will meet you when you are ready. I will only chat with you when you convince Wilhelmina. When you add me on WhatsApp, do not say hello, because I'm going to delete you. Meaning to say, you already saw Wilhelmina on Facebook and on WhatsApp and on YouTube. Why are you going to say hello? My name is not hello. My name is Wilhelmina Ford. You have to entertain yourself. Wilhelmina, I am Mr. So-and-so. I am the buyer. Wilhelmina, I saw you on YouTube. I saw you on Facebook. I have the buyer. I am the buyer's agent, okay? Go back and read again. Let your buyer send a letter of interest to purchase on his company letterhead. Just like this one. Yeah? Just like this one. Now, this is a seller of mine, Mr. Buyer. You're asking for SKR. The SKR would not float around. Everything of my seller, I have a copy. The SKR is that security deposit. Cannot float around to any joker broker. This is worth $1 million. We don't. So this is real business. Right. Which one you like? And my seller, I already spoken to the logistic. The logistic says he knows my seller 14 years. Right. And you're collecting information. I'm going to collect your information, your background, before you will see everything. Right. This is the one. My seller. This is the contract you would receive, Mr. Buyer. the contract. We don't send blank contract. We don't. I will gather your information before you receive the contract. We don't send SPA, blank SPA solicitation. No, we don't. That is rubbish. This is $1,000,000. We don't deal with the joker buyer or joker broker. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. Bear with me. I'm very strict because I want to correct the bad impression of Africa. Yes, in Africa there's a lot of scammer. Scammer means you deceive yourself and the seller deceive you. Both of you are deceitful. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. I shall wait for you to have a conference after you read this vital information in front of you.